Hello and welcome to a special Thursday edition of Yesterday in Baseball. My name is Luke and today we're recapping the winter meetings. As we know, the winter meetings took place at the beginning of this week. They wrapped up officially yesterday, although there should be some moves still going on, I would imagine. And we had some big signings, not a lot of trade action. Overall, just as a fan wanting entertainment, a little bit underwhelmed, but they're out there making moves, trying to improve their roster. They don't really care how exciting it is as a viewer. But we've got the draft lottery to cover. We've got all the new signings, the big name signings that we'll talk about. Go over some trade rumors, some people that are, like I said, rumored to be a part of deals, and just talk a little ball. So without further ado, we're going to kick it off with Edwin Díaz's 3-year contract. As just stated before, Edwin Díaz signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers on a 3-year, $69 million deal to help fortify their bullpen. And again, this is going to be the highest reliever contract on record in terms of AAV in the history of baseball. Díaz was stellar last year with 28 saves to a 1.63 ERA in 62 games, and on his career he's got a 2.82 ERA out of the bullpen. Now this news just dropped literally as I was recording the Tuesday episode, so we didn't get to cover that, so we'll dig in a little deeper here. Again, the Dodgers, their bullpen really struggled last season. Despite winning the World Series, their ERA was a 3.84 as a bullpen in the postseason and a 4.28 FIP, which isn't the best. And they put up a 4.27 ERA to a 4.05 FIP, putting them at 21st in the big leagues in terms of bullpen. And again, they just had some injuries, stuff not going according to plan. It's a lot of money just to kind of add to depth, but I mean, if they had to spend anywhere, this is where they were going to spend it. So, good deal for them. They address a need that they obviously had to. Next up, we already touched on this last episode, but I'll still cover it, obviously. The Kyle Schwarber Philadelphia Phillies deal that's worth 5 years, $150 million. Now, $30 million a year for a DH might seem like a lot, but he has been incredible and incredibly great for Philadelphia. Last season, he was second MVP voting, putting up 56 homers, 240 batting average, 111 runs, 132 RBIs, a sneaky 10 stolen bases in there, to a 4.7 B WAR. Just a great year. And if they lost him, they would have been really, struggling to figure out where to pick up that production, whether it's via trade or free agency. They don't have to worry about that now. I mean, obviously, I don't think they'll add much more now, but I mean, that's about as good of a piece as anyone could go sign as a bat in free agency or trade or anything this year, as he's one of the best hitters in baseball, hands down. So, good deal for both sides there. I expect, that to help the Phillies kind of extend their window just a little bit more. A more under-the-radar move here is Mike Yastrzemski got signed by the Braves to 2 years, $23 million to be what I'm guessing is their fourth outfielder and rotate in at DH some. Yastrzemski, he's a little bit older. He's 35. Last year, he had a solid year, though. 2.8 B WAR, 17 homers, 233 batting average. And, he got traded to the Royals at the deadline. Played 50 games with them and was great. 9 homers in those 50 games. An OPS plus of 131. And, as a career hitter, he's got a 113 OPS plus. And I wonder, he's played in a tough ballpark too, out there at Oracle in San Francisco. The Braves ballpark might be a little bit more hitter friendly. He might have some more success there. So he could really improve as a hitter out there just on the ballpark. You never know. So that's a good deal for them. Again, I think he'll be that fourth outfielder there from what I'm hearing. And while it's a bit pricier, I think it's a smart move. Get Acuna off of his feet for a few more games a year, and you're getting quality production and quality at-bats out of Yaz. So I think it's a good move for both sides once again. We'll wrap up our big free agent signing news with Pete Alonso's 5-year, $155 million deal to Baltimore. I personally did not think he would ever leave the Mets, that he would be a career guy and retire, potentially even go into the Hall of Fame wearing a Mets cap. Maybe that'll happen again, but not for the next 5 years. as he signed a $155 million deal to go to Baltimore and be the highest paid first baseman of all time. He'll be out there making $31 million a year, and again, they needed that first baseman kind of power bat. They've had Ryan Mountcastle out there previously, and while a good hitter, he didn't really have a ton of pop. They just got rid of Anthony Santander last offseason, or he was free agent, and they didn't sign him back, so their lineup has been missing some thump. The real thing with Baltimore is their pitching is still a concern. This is obviously going to improve your team. You add 40, potentially even 50 homers a year to your lineup, but that pitching still needs to be better, and they got to find ways to improve that. Now, the Mets side of things is interesting, as they've now lost two great big-name players over there in Edwin Díaz and Pete Alonso. I originally was speculating maybe this means they're in on Kyle Tucker. They're going to allocate that money to him. Again, as Pete is a bit older. But I'm now hearing rumblings that they might be interested in Lars Nootbaar in outfield, Wilson Contreras potentially to replace him at first base, potentially Cody Bellinger, and even Paul Goldschmidt if it comes down to that, the 38-year-old. So I don't really know anymore if they're in on Kyle Tucker. This is kind of making me lean no, but again, they know that they're going to go out and spend every year, pretty much until they win a World Series from what I assume. So I would just be surprised if this stopped here and they were making kind of more savvy moves as opposed to the splashy moves that we've known Steve Cohen to do in the past. So it's very interesting from a Mets perspective, but good for Baltimore. It's a steep price. It's a lot of years. I think this takes him through his age 36 to 37 season, but they need that in their lineup. They're getting that. So I think it'll, once again, be pretty good for both sides. Bad for the Mets, though. They probably should have kept him. So that is enough of our free agent signings that we're going to cover in our winter meetings recap. Let's go ahead and talk about the MLB draft lottery results. Starting off, the White Sox won the lottery, getting the first overall pick. That's pretty huge. They had a really bad year a couple years ago, and things are kind of in motion for their rebuild. I love to see it. I've got a great buddy who is a White Sox fan, and I truly feel bad. They've gone through a lot over the last few years. The Rays really lucked out. They got the second pick after having a pretty solid season. The Twins get the third pick. They need that. Giants have the fourth pick, the Pittsburgh Pirates in pick number 5. Kansas City Royals luck out again, getting the 6th overall pick for the second time in 3 years. Baltimore has the 7th. A's get the 8th. Braves with the 9th. Rockies with the 10th. Washington Nationals 11. LA Angels 12. Cardinals 13. Marlins 14. Diamondbacks 15. Rangers 16. And the Houston Astros at 17. I'm not too familiar with this upcoming draft class, but I'm sure there will be some great names and great players coming up. So keep your eyes on these top picks. Should be interesting. Guys are getting to the big leagues faster than ever. And lastly, I want to wrap it up with some trade rumors. I just want to go through a list of players that have been rumored to either be on the move or teams are interested in. We have Mackenzie Gore, the Nationals. There's some talks about potentially they might move him. The Dodgers said they're open to moving Tyler Glass now. He's been a great pitcher for them. Ketel Marte, there's still a lot of conversation about him. The Diamondbacks are looking to move him, which I think would be a mistake, but I don't know. Edward Cabrera of the Marlins has drawn a lot of interest. And the Padres have stated that they've been willing to move both Nick Pivetta and Jake Cronenworth. Seems like basically every Cardinal that isn't a rookie is rumored to be moved, especially Nolan Arenado, Wilson Contreras. Sonny Gray was already moved. Lars Nootbaar might be moved. Jojo Romero. So I know especially Contreras and Nootbaar were linked to the Mets. And lastly, I saw Nico Horner. There's talks about teams being interested in him. So a lot of big names on this potential trade block. It'll be interesting to see which of these come to fruition. It's been a slow offseason, and it would be fun to get a big blockbuster trade. And lastly, I want to wrap up the show with very briefly talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates. They made big offers to Kyle Schwarber. We're potentially in on Josh Naylor. Where do you guys think that their big bat comes from? I know that they're going to add something via trade or free agency. They got to add offense. They don't make those kind of offers just to make them. I think that truly they're in on a player and want to improve their lineup because they haven't done that in years. So I'm very curious to see where they go. I still kind of think Cody Bellinger is a good fit, but let me know in the comments. Who do you guys think can go out there and make an impact for the Pirates at that kind of bargain bin price they're looking for? Jam-packed show today, but that's everything we have for you guys. A little bonus Thursday show, but I just wanted to kind of recap all the moves that happen. I know it can be a lot during winter meetings. Unfortunately, not a ton of action, like I said, this year, but still fun stuff to talk about. Keep an eye out for. I want to do a little bit of a deep dive into Pete Alonso and how his bat is going to translate to that park in Baltimore. That stuff intrigues me, so I figured that'd be a fun thing to talk about with you all. But thank you guys again for listening. If you enjoyed the video and the audio, please consider subscribing or liking. And I'm curious to see who you guys think the Pirates are going to go get. So if you guys want, please leave a comment. I'd be interested to hear. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.